Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Talk. And before we proceed, we have a moment of silence to put India in our thoughts and prayers. Yes, so welcome back to Let's Talk. Last on the last episode, we were talking about children, whether or not to have children, the choice of having or not having children. And we were disrupted by the wind and the coming rains. So we said we'll proceed on another date. This is a very sensitive topic. It's a very sensitive topic to talk about because uh, it's a bit controversial. Yes. So we were looking at why people make certain choices now regards to children. So there are people who have chosen out of their free will to be child free. And when we started, we were looking at what would make people or what would make them make that choice. And we had looked at people who complained or didn't want to have children because of labor pains. And we had also people who had health problems. So that's their reason for not having children. Again, we had issues of people in same-sex union. So out of they cannot have their own children because they don't have it takes two to tangle. So for in case of a child, it will need two of the opposite sex or sperm or cells from opposite sex to mix. So as we started, that was just the beginning, and there's more to childbearing and raising a child than what we had just previously talked about. And reason why I say it is very sensitive, the society doesn't want to talk about these things. And what what we are sure of or what we've witnessed is uh, people who have chosen to be child free being judged unfairly. So we judge, the society judges without understanding the reasons why people make these choices. So, there are a lot of things entailed here. So, if we do not talk about the people with health reasons, at least we now want to talk of these are people who do not have any health problems, and they do not have any health problems whatsoever. Yeah, in regards to conceiving or impregnating. Yeah, so the men and women, these things, it comes for both genders. It's not only about women. There are men also who have chosen to be child free. Yeah, so there are people who find it a bit tricky, that stress, the mental stress that comes with raising children, the tantrums, the cries, you know the people who cannot just take that, or they just don't feel comfortable with that. So imagine a situation where now they have a child na wanaogopa hiyo, the child tantrums. Of course, it is normal for children to throw tantrums. It is normal for small babies to cry. But there are people who are not comfortable with that. So you can't force them to like or to put up with that. So instead of going through that torture, they'd rather not have a child. Then, past experiences. you you know, we all come from different backgrounds, and there are people who even right now feel like it was a torture growing up. So maybe looking at looking at the choices their parents made, looking at how they were raised, they like, I wouldn't want my child to go through this. So instead of having a child and make him or her go through this, then I'd rather not just have a child. The, also looking at the general environment. Uh, for example, personally, there are times nitembee kwa street and I see a street kid. My mind ujump tu hivyo tu mara moja. Mi hujiuliza, what if this is my child? What if this was my child? You know, so already inakuja tu, ni naturally tu inatrigaga tu kwa mind. Mi huona mtoi kwa street, then I start imagining if this was my child. You know, so there are people who wouldn't want to have a child juu ile mateso anaona kwa watoto wengine, and nobody knows about the future, so you wouldn't want to subject a child to that. So instead of having this child whom you'll subject to suffering, then you'd rather stay child free. Yeah, again, there are people who have children out of pressure, then they can't take care of these children, and one, okay, you've satisfied the community or the society, you've proven that you can give birth or you have a child, but now you cannot raise this child well, or instances of parents killing children. These things happen. We just need to talk about them. You find a parent has killed, a father has killed the children, or has killed a wife and children because he feels he cannot provide for them and he doesn't want to let them suffer. So he'd rather kill them and kill himself. So this person making this choice, having children and letting them suffer or killing them afterwards, and someone who has decided not to totally have children, you know, there is some equilibrium. We just have to have an understanding on, if mimi naona kuraise watoto itanishinda, then hakuna haja nikuwe na watoto. You understand? Why would I have a child, or why would I impregnate a lady, then after that force her to abandon the child or kill the child or abort the child simply because niko like nilikuwa nataka but I've now changed my mind? Or why would a lady azae mtoto wa like 2 days or 3 days, a newborn baby, we've seen them kwa news, unapata mtoto alitupwa kwa dustbin, mtoto alitupwa nje ya geti ya mtu. So this lady who is doing this, or this man who is subjecting a lady to do this, yeah, to abandon a child or throw away a child, and someone who has decided, I don't want to have a child because of 1 2 3 4, yeah.